Hey guys, Ningen here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and as you can see from the title, the King has returned for another stage. Some of these have been a bit slow going recently because obviously the stages that I have left to do are the ones that are proving the most issue for me. There are some units still that we don't have on Global that would probably make some of these a little bit easier, but anyway. This one is a real doozy, so hang on to your butts for this one, because so I've seen the extreme stage completed by a few people using the new LR Cell and the Android/Cell Saga team, but I don't actually have him. So the way I decided to try and run this stage was to use the LR Androids as the leader, and then basically make a team that is full of androids that obviously come under their leader skill, but who are in the Android/Cell Saga category, and then obviously bring a LR Cell friend. Now the crazy thing about this run is the friend that I brought was only 69% as well, but I mean you can see it's really the RNG that saves us on this run multiple times, because as you can see we're already taking a bit of a battering here. But that just means we get the transformation with LR Cell straight away for that free full heal. And then of course he becomes an absolute beast once he's actually transformed. So the only other unit on the team worth mentioning that is not an android is the physical King Cold. So obviously the LR androids, their secondary leader skill covers physical units, and he is in the Android/Cell Saga, so he does fall under the LR Cell Friends leader skill. And he's been used on a couple of Super Battle Road stages because he passively lowers the enemy's attack just by being on the rotation, and then of course he does lower attack with his super attack as well. So he'll get hit really hard. He's probably the weakest unit on the team, so he's definitely someone that we will keep off rotation, but he can definitely add some value every time he floats in onto the rotation. So LR Cell here obviously being able to put out some decent damage. He also lowers attack with his super as well if he wasn't already good enough. And then of course we've got a lot of healing on this team with the Tech Cell, who heals on super attack. And then we have, of course, the physical LR Cell, who can AoE with his 12 key super, which also heals. So even against one opponent in these no item runs, you pretty much are always going to be going for the 12 key super just to get that free healing. But this is a really bad rotation. So the problem with running all androids as an Android/Cell Saga team in order to fit under the physical LR androids leader skill is there's a couple of units that you have to bring that you really don't want to, because obviously you have to have a unit of every color to run the extreme stage. So we have to have an STR unit, which is why we've got the Android 18 that's in the front slot, and then you have to have an AGL unit, so we have the future 18 as well. I might have said AGL the first time, but STR and AGL, whereas most of the team is like physical or tech, and then of course the LR Cell Friend counts as the int unit, because there's not a lot of good int options for that slot either if you don't have the cell. But you can see right there we took a type disadvantage super attack, so at this point I was kind of already thinking that it was going to be over. But with their attack lowered, Future 18 only took double digits, and I wasn't sure what King Cold would potentially take here. Is he going to take less than 30k? Well, he's going to dodge. So we managed to survive to another turn. And we have the active skill for the LR androids. And then if we put our cells like this, we can take advantage of the type disadvantage. But I really wanted to pick up all the int orbs for Cell. So with the fact that Trunks has been attack lowered a few times, I thought it would probably be easier to do that. Put him in the front, give him all of those int orbs. We can get a nice full 24 key super and a little bit of healing, and then I'm going to transform the androids into Android 16, put him in that slot in the middle so he can soak up all of those attacks, because my LR androids have no dupes, but even at 55%, once you transform them into the Android 18, they don't really Android 16 even, they don't really take a lot of damage. But I don't want to get his 18 key super because he loses HP. And then I opened up a nice big path of orbs for Cell, so that he can do some decent damage and then heal at the end. Because the other thing is I didn't want Cell to super attack in the second slot there, give us a little bit of healing, and then get hit way too hard by all the attacks from the Tech Goten. So unfortunately LR Cell didn't quite finish off Trunks, so 16 will do the job. It's a little bit of a shame because we don't get that extra attack lower onto Goten, but as you can see here, Goten isn't attack lowered, and that 16 is 55%, and he took double digits from all of his attacks. So then Tech Cell on the end gets us a nice little bit of a heal, and then here we go. So this is really the only smart way to play this rotation. We definitely don't want Future 18 taking type disadvantage hits, so we're going to get ourselves a heal at the beginning. And then the STR 18 is of course a support unit, so she is giving everyone a little bit of a buff. But we still take 36k from a normal attack from Goten, because of course he doesn't have any attack lowering applied to him at the moment. So that kind of negates this heal from Cell. But I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we need as much healing as we can get. If it's going to cancel out the odd attack here and there, then it still works out nicely for us. And of course STR 18 does also lower attack with her super, so but then she still gets hit for 65k, so that dodge coming in real clutch there, because if that attack had connected, we would be absolutely dead. So unfortunately this turn I really wanted to try and end the fight with Int Cell on the rotation, because off rotation, because then obviously once we go into the second fight he'll be on the first rotation. We're already under 30% HP, so he'll transform straight away. So I'm trying to think of the best thing to do here, and I realise that there's no real way I can not kill him. So rather than take the risk of that attack in the first slot being a super attack, I decide to just go ahead and use the active skill. Plus we get to see it because it looks awesome. Because even against Int Cell with the type advantage, if he super attacked us, that's just damage that we really don't want to take. Like, even if we survive, it's going to put us on crazy low health. So we managed to beat the first fight, and we are just under 50k HP. So I was sweating at this point. Like, honestly, when going into this fight, I sort of considered this was going to be a failed run. So if we have a look at all the attacks, Tech Cell is taking quite a few attacks in the first slot, but there's 2 Int units there. So I'm thinking Cell might work out better. We need to try and get a heal as quickly as we can. So I figure I'm going to put Tech Cell in the front, drops a few more orbs down just so we can give Int Cell Tech Cell a decent selection of orbs. So obviously the more we pick up, the more he buffs his defense, and then we attack at the end with Future 18. Not much we can do with her. I mean, the thing is, the reason I'm so nervous at this point is Future 18's taking 2 attacks from Gohan in the final slot with type disadvantage, so we're very much in danger of dying, even though we do have some heals built in. But this is where the RNG gods shine down upon us. We get an additional super attack with LR Cell, so that is not only a second AoE attack, but it's a second heal. We absolutely obliterate both the Int characters, and we crit on Krillin, so he's gone. We got a crit on Gohan, so he's on super low HP. So Tech Cell just comes in, finishes him off. I can only tell at this point because Future 18 is attacking Piccolo. So Tech Cell finished off Gohan, which is in itself a heal. And then of course Piccolo super attack. So I thought even after all that RNG, I was still going to be dead. But we must have been just over that 95k, probably at 100, 105k at the most maybe. So we survived that super attack, and then our boy Int Cell comes in and hits us with the full heal. So obviously because of all the physical orbs, even though we don't need health, I decide to put the androids at the front because we definitely don't want Piccolo to super attack in the middle there and hit us with a type disadvantage super after all the work that we've done so far. So not only is it a bunch of orbs to push up the Dokkan bar, gives us the full 24 key super with the LR androids, so they're able to lower attack. And then of course Int Cell has ridiculously good defense anyway, 3.6 million attack stat as well, so he should be able to tank any attacks from Piccolo, but not necessary. He's just gonna straight up obliterate him. So that makes it another turn, or another fight, should I say, where we end with Int Cell off rotation. But we are on full health. And now we're looking at LR Cell, Tech Cell, and a King Cold rotation, which on paper is pretty good. That extra attack lower from King Cold is really useful. But unfortunately, as you can see, there are no slots here where Goku isn't attacking. So King Cold has to take at least one type disadvantage attack, which is a little bit disappointing. But with the attack lowering from his passive and the fact that we can pick up quite a few orbs here, I was hoping that Tech Cell would be able to tank at least reasonably well. And yeah, I was quite surprised with just how well he actually tanks here, because I mean we did pick up quite a few orbs, and I know we're not in danger of getting the Dokkan mode, so I decide that I might as well just grab a bunch of physical orbs, drop these int orbs here, and set us up nicely for the next turn. But look at that, I mean super attack coming in straight away, that's not ideal, but double digits from normal attacks, that is absolutely perfect. And it is good that the super attack came before we attacked, because that allows us to get a nice little heal back off of Cell's super. Because if he was only hit by double digit attacks before, it kind of wastes his super, and then we get super attacked afterwards, that would be a big oof. So managed to get that health back. Then of course LR Cell hits him with that AoE. Not a huge amount of damage, but we get a nice heal back from that as well. And then King Cold, we're going to attack lower Vegeta. 130k from... I mean, look at that. He took, what, he took 290k damage at the end of that turn. But, you know what that means. We survive by the skin of our teeth yet again. And in comes the bad boy himself, Int Cell. Transformed already. Full heal. I mean, I can see why, having done this run now, so many people beat this stage with no items just using his team. Because imagine having two of them. You don't need to worry about which, like, whether one is going to be on rotation when you drop below 30% HP. You just kind of have to have that luck of actually surviving the turn and being on the right HP. So we get the Dokkan mode with Cell. Obviously you guys have seen in the past the emulator with the mouse is not always my friend, but we only missed one, which is pretty good going for the old mouse clicking on those nodes. So we are going to get a huge amount of damage here. This also puts us in a really great position, because even if we take a load of damage this turn, this Dokkan attack will do so much damage that we'll get a full 4.8 million. Whew. And he gets an additional super as well. I'd almost forgotten about that. So additional super to finish off the dregs of Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta's HP. And yeah, that is ridiculous. So, I mean, at this point, even if he super attacks the LR androids with type disadvantage, we'll just heal up to full at the start of next turn, thanks to that ridiculous Dokkan mode. Because, yeah, they're taking 80k. But, fortunately, Future 18 is at least an STR unit, so she does have type advantage. She gets a cheeky little dodge in as well, and then, yeah, she only takes 100 damage. So, yeah, looking at this setup, it's pretty clear to me that this is probably going to be the final turn. Considering that there are two attacks in the middle, I felt it made more sense to do this, because basically, just like I was saying the previous rotation, it's better to let him get hit first and then fire off the heals, because I feel like the Goku, yes, he still does 47k, but then the super from Physical Cell pretty much gives us that HP back, and even with a crit, he survives with the tiniest sliver of health. But Tech Cell, not having any of that, comes in with the Solar Kamehameha and obliterates Super Saiyan Blue Goku. So I didn't actually check, but let's see our health at the bottom. So yeah, we're basically on, is that exact? Yeah, I'm on exactly full health. So not only did we complete the run with no items, but we ended the run on full HP. So that is pretty ridiculous. And I beat my record for the extreme stage as well by a good, what, just under 4 minutes. So yeah, that was absolutely ridiculous. Like, I've said it before in some of these videos and on Twitter and stuff like that, but to do these no item runs, even with the right team, sometimes you need the most ridiculous RNG. And you can see in this run, we had a couple of bad spots of RNG, and then we had a couple of absolutely ridiculous, godlike levels of luck. And Int Cell, obviously the full-on MVP, using his free heal in every single fight to claw back the run and finally complete Extreme Class Only Super Battle Road with no items. So out of the original, well I say the original, so all the mono stages have been done, and then the 10 stages that came as part 2, I think the only ones I have left to do now is Fusions and Realm of Gods. So it's looking pretty good, and we've done androids from the new categories, and I'm working on some more of those at the moment, so stay tuned for more no item runs from your global Super Battle Road King. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can follow me on Twitch or join my Discord, the link is in the description below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.